Why are you creating this toxic environment for each other, sharing bad advice to each other, giving each other false hope that your stream is going to grow, parroting, lack of unity? Why is this happening? Well, there's a heartfelt post on the official subreddit. Well, it's not unofficial subreddit for Twitch. It has nearly 1 million followers. It is the biggest creator community on Twitch, where somebody outlines everything that's happening within the Twitch community and streamer community, where small streamers are actually crushing each other and sabotaging each other's careers. I want to break down everything in this post. It was highly upvoted. You got to stick around for this one because you need to escape some of this negativity, escape the sabotaging, escape the misinformation if you want to succeed as a content creator. Stick around to the end. You can't miss this one.
This video is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster using Restream.io?
And here's the post on Reddit, and I'm just going to break it down for you guys and make it really simple for you to understand. And this one I thought was a fantastic move by one of the community members to actually break this down and to share with the rest of the community what they were feeling and what they were seeing, because I've been seeing the same thing. I have been following the Twitch subreddit for quite a long time, as well as Twitch fails, Twitch clips, etc. And this sort of post was needed because these communities end up tearing each other apart. So this is a super hot take. They admittedly say that. And I'm just going to break this article down, or this post down, and talk with you guys about what you can learn from this. So as they're saying, like many of you, I started at streaming to 1 to 0 viewers. In fact, my first streams are spent with my mic muted until my first chatter popped up. And after a year, they ended up succeeding and getting an average of 100 viewers per hour, which was great. And they put in a ton of work and investment into equipment, 1,000 lessons and learning experiences. And as you grow, the lessons and knowledge that you need to consistently improve happens. And so he details in this post, and by the way, the user here is Firearmed, and he details in this post that on the subreddit for Twitch, which has 932,000 people bleeding purple, streamers that are bleeding purple, the topics on the subreddit used to be about how much revenue should I be spending each year on investments into my stream, talking about software subscriptions, hardware subscriptions, good conversations to have, asking people what's the best webcam, what's the best mic, what's the best lighting, what are all the best things I should be investing my money in, should I be investing in Restream, should I be investing in advertising, etc. Those are great conversations to have. Also, in the early days of this subreddit, before over 1 million people started piling in, how do I manage chat when 50 people are chatting at the same time? A very healthy thing to talk about, right? When you have so many people chatting at the same time, should you go into slow mode? Should you just take a moment to answer every question? How do you pick out the best ones? Good stuff. Challenges that streamers have as they're scaling up. It used to be positive. How do I handle being the target of a hate raid on Twitch and Discord? We just did an episode of the Digital Drop podcast today talking about this, right? How do you deal with the haters and the trolls, etc.? So these are all really important topics that streamers need to be talking about and having healthy conversations about on the internet. However, as they detail here in this post, it has completely changed. And so the big topic that I really wanted to cover today is the concept of toxic positivity. And so as they detail here, there's one great example of toxic positivity on /r/Twitch that happened recently. It was a post from someone here a few months ago who basically stated, I've been streaming for several months now for 1 to 2 viewers, and maybe streaming's not just for me. And obviously every streamer deals with this. And the problem is when people post this sort of thing on this subreddit and other subreddits out on the internet, the responses from the vast majority of the community are, just keep going, you're doing great, keep it up, don't stop being you, and we all start from somewhere, just keep streaming, you'll make it. So I agree with the poster of this article, and I want to talk about this for a moment with toxic positivity. So obviously you want to surround yourself in life with people that are encouraging you to go chase your dreams and to go make it happen, right? This is something that's super important. However, if the people are telling you to keep going and you're doing great when you're actually failing, they can hurt you in the process. And thank you very much to Pit Boss Pat for the super hearts on Periscope. Appreciate it. They can hurt you in the process. And so the real allies that you have on the internet and in your streaming career and in your creator career are people that, number one, have experience and they've actually had success. And so if you're taking advice from, let me share an analogy with you that one of my bosses, my former bosses, told me. And it was that, and he's in the finance space, but I think you can appreciate the analogy. He said, one of the stupidest things you can do is to take advice from poor people if you're trying to get rich, right? And so when it comes to streaming, one of the stupidest things that you can do is to take advice from somebody who's never achieved audience at a great scale. Taking advice from somebody who's never achieved, growing a media company to great scale. Somebody who's never achieved, running marketing on a super high level, etc. But that's what's happening on the Twitch subreddit and in other subreddits and communities on the internet among small streamers and small creators, is they're all taking advice from other people that are poor in the finance analogy that I gave you. And so all of these people that have the wrong idea, don't understand the best practices, and don't have the experience to be giving advice are all acting as gurus within these communities, causing toxic positivity. And so I like that term of toxic positivity because it's toxic because it's sabotaging your creator career. It's sabotaging your YouTuber career. The only people that you should be taking advice from in terms of how to grow as a streamer and what have you are people that have achieved success and can prove to you that they've achieved success. So for me, for example, I've been a marketing executive for the last 10 years. I built the biggest gaming network ever on YouTube with billions of views. I've grown from scratch, and I've showed them to you a bunch of times. All the channels I've grown from scratch to over 1 million subscribers, etc. Right? And I've been a Twitch partner for almost 9 years, blah, 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 blah. I can show you my credibility just as an example of how I've scaled up media businesses, tech businesses, YouTube channels, marketing agency, marketing operations. And so I have credibility because I have that experience. So do people like Alpha Gaming. So do people like Roberto Blake, Daryl Eves, Nick Nimmin, all these guys Devin Nash, guys that give advice on YouTube, right? They've got credibility because they've been there, they've done that, and they've scaled up on some level, right? So this toxic positivity where you're saying, keep going, you got it, buddy, you're going to really make it, is like telling the super, super short kid that, you're going to be an NBA player one day. It's like telling the kid that's 5'4", you're going to be an NBA player one day. And you got it. Just keep going, man. One day you'll be playing there. I mean, maybe you're a 1 in 10 million person that makes it. But generally speaking, if you're not over 6'6", you have no chance. And generally you need to be even taller than that, right, to make it in the NBA. So you should probably tell the kid that's 5'4", you can play basketball because you love it, but you maybe should be focusing on other things in your life and in your career. And it's dangerous to continually encourage someone who is doing something that is failing to do it exactly the way they are right now. So instead of telling, a small streamer, like you see in the article behind me about toxic positivity, instead of telling a small streamer, you're doing great and keep going, you should maybe give them some feedback on how they could improve. And don't give that feedback from like a guru perspective, like, let me tell you as an expert, unless you're actually an expert. So one thing you could do as a small streamer that isn't toxic is you could say, hey, I came by your stream today and your mic was peaking when you were playing Fortnite, whatever, with such and such. You should take a look at your levels, something like that. That's good feedback. That's critical feedback. That's something that's helping them improve, right? And so that's something that could actually help that creator and that streamer grow. So that was helpful. But telling them you're doing great and don't stop being you, that's not working. And so I talk to so many clients that come using my coaching services that have been experiencing this sort of toxicity and this sort of this false positivity that you see right here in this article that he's talking about. Keep it up. Don't stop being you. And we all start somewhere. You'll eventually make it, but they don't eventually make it. And then that's why they end up booking me, is because they want to talk directly to an expert on a coaching call to finally be on a path to success, to finally break the cycle of doing things that aren't working when you're streaming to 1 to 2 viewers, when you're streaming to 0 viewers for a super long time. It blows my mind when I see the posts on this subreddit and others that used to be on the Mixer subreddit. There were 4 million Mixer streamers. It blows my mind when you see the posts that are saying, I've been grinding 30 hours a week for 3 years and I've only achieved 6 concurrent viewers. And it's like, oh my gosh, who was encouraging you to do that along the way? And the thing is, they have a network of people that were there encouraging them to do that along the way. And that is dangerous. Those people are not allies. Those people are your enemies. So I would tell all of you guys that are listening and watching right now, you need people that are going to give you the ice cold advice that you need to hear. This is why let me just talk about this. What I've learned is that, in your personal life, maybe with your wife, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, maybe your best friend, having them give you encouragement and love, that's good. But when it comes to business, when it comes to your career, when it comes to streaming, when it comes to building your online profile, when it comes to things that you need to do and that you're super passionate about doing, you need somebody to help you that can remove the emotion from the equation. You need somebody that can remove the feeling from the equation when you're thinking about it and help you look at the ice cold facts of what's going on. That's why when I coach people and I look at what they're trying to achieve, I look at the results they've already had. I look at their data and analytics, and I constantly show them charts and data and facts when I advise them. Because what I've learned is when I started as a creator about 11 years ago on YouTube, whenever I made emotion-driven decisions, they were almost always wrong. And when I made fact-based decisions, those ended up resulting in growth. And just yesterday, I finally quit my job as a media executive to go full-time as a creator. I've been waiting to do this for a long time because I made those ice-cold business decisions to get here where I am today, where I'm now making enough money live streaming, YouTubing, and running my coaching business to actually do this for a living. But I wasn't able to achieve that 10 years ago because I was too emotional about content creation. I was making too many decisions needing recognition from other people. And so I was very susceptible, and I looked at my phone all the time. I was looking at my phone all the time, and I was like, I need somebody to like this video. I needed it emotionally. I need somebody to give me positive feedback on this video. I needed it to keep going. I had this emotional need to continue to create content then, and I was not ready to remove the emotion from the equation and focus just on business. And so that's why this toxic positivity they're talking about on the Twitch subreddit is so important to recognize. Look at yourself. Are you vulnerable to that as well? Do you need the likes emotionally? Do you need the concurrent viewers emotionally? Do you need somebody to say, keep going, buddy, you're the best, and man, I love you so much to keep going? If so, you are vulnerable as a creator. And if so, you could be making a lot of the wrong decisions because you're making emotion-driven decisions when it comes to building your online business. That's why when I talk about all this stuff, I try to be as ice cold about it as I can. And a lot of people criticize me for that. Maybe I'm emotionless. I tell people your strategy's wrong, or you're going to fail doing that, or you're never going to make it doing that. And I tell people that because it's true. And I can give them facts to show it. When people can give you facts and numbers and real true information to help you as a streamer, I view those people as being your ally. I view those people as being folks that are actually going to help you, as opposed to people that are just patting you on the back and telling you to keep going. Go, keep going, little Johnny. You'll make it into the NBA one day. And then one day when you grow up, after playing basketball for 8 years, you look down and you realize you're 5'4", and they all lied to you the whole time. And they were just being nice. Does it feel nice now that you know the truth? No, it doesn't. So toxic positivity is something that's got to go. I appreciate this person highlighting this. Okay, let's talk about the next part of this post. And this post got like 2,800 upvotes. Let me make sure I give it an upvote. There it goes. So honest advice and firm advice from proven content creators is harshly criticized and downvoted within this particular community. And I've seen this across the board, actually, on a lot of different small creator communities. They'll say like, Devin Nash says XYZ about Twitch, but I think something completely the opposite. Or they'll say, you know, Alpha Gaming said such and such about webcams, but I think blah, 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 blah. And it's a lot of small creators turning away from experts that are trying to help them. So what's detailed here is that, you know, some of these big creators like myself, I've done this. I've dropped hundreds of comments in these subreddits to help people. And some folks feel that because they've been streaming a lot or because they've been creating content a lot, they think that they're an expert at it. And if you have never achieved a certain level of success, then you aren't an expert. You need to achieve some level of success to be an expert on something. You may have learned a lot about it, but you've never learned how to succeed at it. And so this sort of elitism that's happening and everybody's an expert that's happening is a real problem. And so when somebody actually takes the time who, you know, maybe has a business that makes $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 per month as a content creator, and they're telling you, hey man, this is how you do it. You know, I learned the hard way. You do 1, 2, and 3 to get there. And trust me, I made that mistake back in the day, and I don't want to see you make that mistake. And you go, nah, I'm pretty sure that streaming exclusively on Trovo is the way to go. Like, give me a break. And so one of the items that's detailed here is that, you know, content creators, experienced content creators like me or media executives like me will tell you about the power of YouTube and about the power of video titles, thumbnails, descriptions, and the YouTube algorithm. This poster highlights that here as a method to grow as a Twitch streamer. And it's something that truly, truly works. Let's talk about this for a moment. Let's talk about the idea of bad strategy versus good strategy. So if somebody in their videos shows you how they got free traction through YouTube SEO or the YouTube algorithm, and they're showing you, here's how you do it. You do step 1, step 2, and step 3. And then once you do those 3 steps, you tell them to go watch on Twitch, right? And they literally show you the success on the screen. I've done that with a bunch of my videos. I've showed you a lot of the videos on Awall Digital that I did that got like hundreds of thousands of views or whatever. And I'm like, look, here's the research method I used. Here's how I built my title and my thumbnail. And here's what you should do when you ask your audience for something. You ask them to do 1 call to action. Like in this stream, for example, the call to action I'm going to ask you guys to do is, if you have not already, I'm doing these podcast rant episodes on Twitch. Check out the link in the description below. Go follow me on Twitch, Awall Gaming on Twitch. It's all about Twitch for these streams. Follow on Twitch. See how I had 1 call to action? So anyway, the point of that was that when they show you the success and they show it working to you, if you ignore the truth, if you ignore the facts that somebody's showing you that worked, then you're lost. You have no hope to succeed. Then you end up creating your own alternate facts about how things work. So for example, if I showed you different SEO content I've made on YouTube and how it got me a lot of views and made me a lot of money, and then you said, yeah, but I tried SEO and it doesn't really work, so you're wrong. Or you say, well, I watched another YouTube video and they said YouTube SEO is dead, so you're wrong. You're willing to ignore the truth that's right in front of your eyes, that something works, and you're seeking out information, bad information, misinformation, or fake information you made up in your head to prove the thing that's true wrong right in front of your own eyes. Not only is that a type of sabotage that small streamers do to each other, but it's also a type of sabotage that you can do to yourself, self-sabotage. Ignoring the truth that you need to know to succeed, in exchange for what? Your own ego? In exchange for what? You're trying to grow your stream here. You're trying to grow your online business here. You're trying to grow your audience here. And instead, all you're doing is sabotaging yourself. Okay? This is something really important to keep in mind. So let's go take a look at more pieces of the article. All right. And then here's another thing that they talked about. After speaking with 15 Twitch streamers who average over 100 concurrent viewers, not a single one had a good thing to say about this subreddit. And by the way, if you guys are just tuning in now, I'm talking about the r/Twitch subreddit. 932,000 followers in the subreddit. 4,000 people right now are in the subreddit. I'm going to be covering more things about the subreddit on the channel here shortly because there's so much horrible advice on the subreddit It'll just blow your mind. So much horrible advice. It's just the worst advice you've ever seen. And so the issue with this subreddit, according to this user, is there's a culture problem that drives away successful, experienced, or expert content creators that can actually help you. That's right. And so when in life, so let's talk about this a little bit more. If you're a part of a community that's driving away successful people, do you think you're more likely to be successful? If you're a part of a community that is or if you're only networked up or friends with folks that don't have experience and haven't made it as a streamer or a creator, do you think you're more likely to be successful? So you need to take a hardcore look at yourself. You need to take a hardcore look at the communities that you're a part of, the Facebook groups that you're a part of, the Discord servers that you're a part of, the gaming groups that you're a part of. Are these helping you? Are these people successful? Have these people achieved some of the things that you want to achieve? The most likely the answer is no. It's a basic fact that if you want to be a successful person, you need to surround yourself with other successful people. You need to listen to other successful people because they're going to help you get the right mindset, and they're going to help connect you with other folks that have a proactive mindset, a proactive way of approaching that particular industry, those particular challenges, etc. And so that's why I've created a private Discord community, for example, of just my paid clients, and I keep it very positive in there. And I mix small streamers in this community, people with like 0 followers to 100 followers, with creators that make $100,000 plus per month and have millions of followers on the internet, all in one community together, so that the folks that are trying to grow can actually get advice and feedback from the people that have already grown media businesses like me and others. And so that's healthy. But if you only have a community where there are people that want to grow and then people that have never grown before, it becomes this echo chamber where they start feeding each other bad advice. This echo chamber where they start feeding each other misinformation. An echo chamber where people are like, hey, was my stream good today? Yeah, it was good. Because they haven't even achieved good themselves. So in their opinion, it's pretty good. Hey, is my thumbnail good? Yeah, keep going. And it looks like hot garbage. Hey, does my mic sound good? It's peaking and it sounds like trash. And nobody's going to tell them because they either don't know, or they're not willing to put in the time to give you real advice, or they just want to network with you to try to get something out of you. So the point of explaining all of that is to say this. I want you guys to focus on surrounding yourself with as many successful and experienced people as you possibly can, and pulling yourself out of communities, pulling yourself out of social groups that have unsuccessful people in them. So what I mean by that is people that are negative, or people that are just telling you what you want to hear, and people that are not truly your allies. You want people that can be critical of you. You want people that can tell you the truth. You want people that can tell you facts and can back up what they say with real experience and real evidence that they can show you. That's why on the Digital Drop podcast and in my live stream I did on Twitch yesterday, the entire stream was just me looking at numbers on the screen and say, like, let's look at the facts and try to extract something from these facts. You need to surround yourself with those types of people if you want to succeed. That's the rant for today. I hope you can take this advice to heart, and I hope you can analyze those people in your life, those communities in your life that are holding you back. This is one of these such communities right here, r/Twitch. If you're a part of that community, I recommend you don't follow. And I recommend you look at the other Facebook groups and the other subreddits you're in, and you look at getting out of there because they aren't doing a damn thing for you. And go try to network with bigger creators on Twitter, on YouTube, on Discord, people that have made it. Maybe ask one of them if they'd be willing to mentor you if you build a relationship with them. Maybe you help them mod their chat. Maybe they can mentor you. And let some of the big guys help you out because they are far more likely to give you good advice than the peanut gallery of unsuccessful people in the creator space. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this new format for the show. I know it's a little shorter, but I just want to deliver succinct information and value and not waste a single moment of your time. Adios, creators.